Hi and welcome back to the Ruby Tuesday. My name is Ruben and this is my review for Nocebo. But before I get into that, it is December the 7th and every day in December we're opening an Advent Calendar Star Wars little figurine as a little fun treat for everybody. Let's see what we got for December the 7th. Just spat all over the lens. This is fantastic. It's a blue see-through Chewie or Chewbacca. I never quite get the right perspective as to where it's clearest. If you want to see what the rest are, I'll be putting them all up on my set on the 25th on December, but you can go back and see that I've done a review for each day of December, and in that you will find the little figurine that I got that day. But let's jump into the review. A fashion designer is suffering from a mysterious illness that puzzles her doctors and frustrates her husband until help arrives in the form of a Filipina carer. From the director who directed Vivarium, Lorcan Finnegan, we have Eva Green, who's Christine, Mark Strong, Felix, and Shai Financier as Diana, and their young daughter Billy Gadsden, who plays Bobs. I love some folktale horror, and some are so scary that I often hide behind my wife. The Witch ritual, the wailing, antlers, even Krampus is up there. Hereditary, one of the best ever. Movies and Munchies rates that as his best movie ever, never mind horror. And so I went into this with high hopes, especially with Eva Green. But what surprised me was Shai Financier, Diana. She comes in as this carer, and whenever she's on screen, the presence of this character outweighs that of Eva Green. Eva Green is fantastic, and what we get of Mark Strong is great. I would have liked some more from his character. They don't explore the relationship that much, but that's not what the movie is about. Something has happened to start Eva Green's character Christine going off the deep end, and Diana is here to use her folktale magic to help her. And so we get this kind of breaking down of a character in mind, trying to fight off her demons. On the one side, you have a husband that thinks she's lost the plot and that Diana is against her, not actually helping her. Then we have this relationship with young Billy Gadsden, Bob's character, trying to find her footing in all of this as mom kind of loses her mind. All of that is a mess. And at the same time, we get this imagery that is so evident in all folktale horrors. We have things that we don't quite understand. Have you ever watched a film where you come away from the film with a new fear? For me, I didn't like ticks before, but coming out of this film afterwards, I may now have a fear of ticks. The visual imagery they use with ticks is so gross, and there's a moment that I was like, nope, I am out, and had to turn away for a couple of seconds, looked back, and it was still there. There's a god damn it. The visual expertise of how they show what's going on screen is never like horrifying, like the worst horror you've ever seen, but it is disturbing. I think that's a very good way to describe it. Disturbing imagery. Cinematography is great. When we get a story of a background character starting to flesh out the story, I think though then you're going to have figured out for the most part what this film is actually about. So the mystery isn't that mysterious. I think it probably stays mysterious for about half the film, and then the latter half of the film you are still on that ride because you want to see how it plays out. Now I do think the ending is good. I think it ends like it should have. It's not necessarily that sort of ending that some people will enjoy, or maybe. I think it's a satisfying ending. In fact, I'm going to talk about the ending at the end. I will remind everybody of spoilers. Suffice to say, the acting in this is great. Shai Financier, I don't know who she is. I've never seen her act in anything, but her performance here, the different performances she gives between that of Felix, Mark Strong character, is very off-putting, and there seems to be a negativity. Then when she is with Bob's, she's very mothering and nurturing, and then when she's with Christine, she seems to be the friendship, but there's something else going on in there. And so combined with the imagery of the weird things like with the ticks and dogs and things that you don't quite understand, you have that folklore that creeps in there, and it's all showcased through cinematography that is often just stark, like less is more, and then very visual with those dark colors, bright colors, mixed in together, so you don't really know what you're seeing or when what you're seeing is real to the character. Very clever editing that way. It's not the best folktale horror I've ever seen, but it certainly is different and quite fresh. Love seeing Eva Green again. So I feel like I'm coming down hard on Eva Green. I'm not. She's fantastic in this. She's always great. Pretty much I don't think there's ever been something that I've seen her in that she's been bad in. But I did love Chai Financia. I thought she was excellent. So them two together, playing on each other, what scenes they have to go through, whether what she's doing is right, but you're seeing results. You have that kind of push and pull until the story starts to unravel. Fantastic. One-time watch. I don't know if I'd go back to it, but that doesn't mean the film isn't good. I'm still going to give this a strong 3 3/4 Nicolas Cages out of 5.
You got one. Congratulations.
Because I think I gave Hereditary 4, so it's not quite Hereditary. It's not the best, but it's definitely entertaining, getting to that 4 mark. So let me know your thoughts and feelings down below of this movie. Are you going to check it out? I know it's coming to cinemas, in select cinemas in the UK on the 9th, and then it'll be on VOD, and I believe it's been out for about 10 days, maybe 2 weeks in the US, so you'll probably be able to find it. Let's talk the ending. Okay, so the Chai Financia character Diana had lost her child due to Christine's stringent laws in the warehouse where her clothes were being made, locking the door, which is obviously a fire safety hazard, but if you looked at the place where everybody was working, you could tell that that was really bad. That was not good, the whole place. And so her daughter basically burns to death. And so we have that comeuppance where the character had the whole time been planning to try and bring her to a place of where she has to face her fears. And her fears, the realization of that, seems to set herself on fire. So she visualized it in her mind, and then she basically combusted, like spontaneous human combustion. We didn't see any evidence of her actually lighting Christine on fire. So it's suggesting, as it did throughout, that her magic is real, and you know, she's controlling ticks, telling ticks to get into a box and getting the tick to go into the bird, to control the bird, to make Mark Strong's character look like he'd killed the bird, and then later on make him fall over the banister and then injure himself so that he would be out of the house for a while. But I feel like she knew the whole time was just getting her to understand that she had lost a daughter, and that Diana would then be with the daughter. The plan was to show her that she had power, that she could fly, and then she fell to her death. And we see the bird come out again and enter into Bob's. See, this is where I understand it, but I'm not sure if it's correct. Does she now have the soul of Diana in her, as well as the other soul that Diana already had in her, or it's just one soul per time? They didn't make that clear, but what is clear is that we see the young Bobby character, Bobs, in the forest messing with herbs and stuff, and she sees Chai Financia, the Diana character, in the corner in the forest. Like she said, I will always be there with you, which I think means that that soul is in her now, which is why she has the knowledge of being a healer, and so that folklore power will continue. That's how I understand it. So now the mother is burnt to a crisp, the father is hurt and he's lost a wife, and now he has a daughter that is going to be different. What do you think about this ending? Do you think that is correct? Do you think they have 1 or 2 souls in the young girl? Do you think that that lady deserved to burn because of that safety laws? I think it probably wasn't just her daughter that died, other people as well. Let me know your thoughts and feelings on this and the ending. Thanks so much for watching, but most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.